So, Richard, we've all been shaken up by the events happening in the world due to COVID-19. Well, why would you say it's of utmost importance, the well-being of nations in 2020?
Well, well-being, I think, is a great new indicator. We had happiness. I don't think happiness does it.
Yeah, okay.
I think well-being is where we're going. So that's the first point.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you can measure the well-being, the level of well-being in your nation, you know what it is you need to improve in order to live in a happier society.
Okay.
So what I did was, I started this work some time ago. I mapped the level of well-being, I called it also the level of consciousness, of 145 nations in 2014, 16, 18, and 2019.
Right.
And I was then able to not only compare the level of well-being in a particular nation, but also to see the time series of the evolution of well-being in nations.
So how did you measure it? What did you look at?
Well, I took 17 well-established indicators, which are already out there and well understood and well recognized, and I, through statistical, manipulation, I was able to add all of these indicators together to get an overall well-being indicator for a nation. So the well-being, national well-being indicators based on 17 global indicators. So, for example, many people refer to the indicator called social progress, and they quote that. Well, social progress is just one of my 17 indicators. So this national well-being indicator is more holistic, more comprehensive in its coverage of what is going on. And each indicator maps to the 7 levels of consciousness. That's really a very interesting development.
So how will nations benefit from this course?
Well, I believe that whatever you measure, you can manage, you know?
I would hope so.
Yeah, well, you know, I started looking at my weight on the scales every day a year ago.
It's something I don't like to do. Anyway.
Well, to cut a long story short, you know, I've lost 10 kilos.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope you're happy with that.
I am. And so measurement matters. That's my point. So when you measure the well-being of a nation, let's say you measure gender equality, okay, and you do it every year, whatever you measure tends to improve. And that's why I wanted to develop a global well-being indicator for nations, so that nations can actually measure their progress in increasing the sense of well-being of their citizens.
And probably when we get aware of that as a nation, we probably want to do better.
Exactly. That's as soon as you give somebody a feedback about how well they're doing, they want to do it. It's like nature, it's human nature.
It works like that, yeah. So about me as a person, how will it impact my feeling of being in a certain nation, and my outlook?
Well, it will actually influence your voting. It could influence your voting, because you could say, well, look, wow, you know, this is an issue. Let's say, for example, I know in fact that gender equality is one of the least performing issues in Canada, for example. I mean, Canada's very high in terms of consciousness, but, you know, they have a problem with gender equality. So now I know that I'm going to vote for parties that say, we're going to do something about that.
If that's what you want.
If that's what you want. I like gender equality myself.
Me too. I want that too.
Not surprisingly.